Manhattan Federal Court Judge Shira Scheindlin ruled that a part of the stop and frisk that's happening in New York City is unconstitutional. And she's specifically referring to police officers going into the halls of apartment buildings and stopping people, asking for ID, questioning them when they're walking into their apartments.
So stop and frisk in New York City is out of control. So about 52% of New York City's population is Black and Latino. 87% of the people who are stopped for stop and frisk are Black and Latino. So hugely disproportionately done to minorities. It's not an accident. And part of the reason they do it is because minorities have less power, so it's easier to push them around. And part of it is just simply ingrained racism. The proof is in the pudding. And if you say, well, maybe those guys were guilty, well, they weren't. It turns out 88% of the people who were stopped were totally innocent.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, let me give you an example of why this went to court. So there was a family living in the Bronx, and you know, the mother sent her 17-year-old son to the store to go buy ketchup for dinner. As he was walking back to his apartment, he enters the hallway of the apartment building, and he gets stopped by police officers. And they're like, "What are you doing here? You know, show us your ID, okay?" So he had the ID, he shows them the ID, he even shows them the ketchup and says, "I'm just going home. I went to go get ketchup for dinner." And they're like, "We don't believe you. We're gonna call your mom, we're gonna have her come downstairs to get you." So the cops call, right? And they tell her, "Come downstairs and identify your son." When you hear the words "identify your son," you, as a mother, you think of the worst possible thing.
Oh my God, I hadn't thought of that.
You think your son has been murdered or something. So she runs down crying in a horrible state, and she alleges that the cops were laughing at her, and they're like, "All right, here's your son."
Yeah, it's really funny. Now here's another justification the cops use that I found hilarious. They said, no, you see, we're trying to help the poor and minorities.
Right.
Because normally there's a lot of policing in the richer areas of town, so we thought that we would spread around the police activities, and we would do them in poor and minority areas too, so they could feel safe as well. Well, are you not merciful? JR, when the cops stop African Americans, is it usually try to help the African American community?
I've been pulled over plenty of times. A lot of times the first thing they say is, "How are you doing tonight? Is anyone bothering you?"
Really? Me too?
Would you like to file a report?
That's usually how it goes down. Yeah, I hear you.